So we are studying one-dimensional motion, mechanics, three parts. Kinematics we are going to. In kinematics, 1D motion, this is the part currently we are studying. Then we'll move on to the accelerated motion, and then we'll move on to 2D. 2D starts with the vectors, introduction of the equations of motion in 2 dimension, then motion in a plane. So in this part we started from here: definitions, uniform motion, rest and motion, absolute rest is never possible, rectilinear motion, translatory motion. You must be remembering all these definitions and terms, without which it will be very difficult for you to understand the further part of the chapter. Concept of point mass, frame of reference, two types: inertial, non-inertial, 1D, 2D and 3D motion. Then scalars and vectors, simple introduction. Scalars and vectors are explained on the basis of distance and displacement, speed and velocity. 3 types of speed, 3 types of velocity. And now we are coming on to the exact part, that is one-dimensional motion. One-dimensional motion. So under one-dimension motion we will study about the position. Then with the help of position we can find out displacement, and with the help of displacement we can find out velocity. So these 3 things in the one-dimensional motion we will see: position, displacement, velocity. So how do we exactly study them? So to study position in a one-dimensional motion, we draw position time graph. Exactly how the position changes in one-dimensional motion with respect to time, that we understand from position time graph. Let's say the position time graph given to us is, right, the position which is in the terms of x. Graph given is this. So this means as the time is increasing, let's say time is in seconds, the position of the body is remaining at the same position. This is some initial position of the body, it remains as it is. So this graph represents rest. Rest means no change in position. Let us say another time graph, position time graph which we have been given is like this. States that as the time is increasing, the body, its position is changing from I to some final position F. So here the positions are changing, that means body is in the motion, and from this graph of motion we can calculate displacement and we can also calculate velocity. How? If this graph represents motion, then from this graph of displacement time graph we can calculate displacement, we can calculate velocity. So what is displacement? Displacement, you know, it is shortest path. Shortest path will be final position minus initial position. Position we represent with this x. So final position minus initial position will give me the displacement. Velocity. Velocity is change in displacement upon time. So change in displacement is this upon time. This was the initial displacement, this was the final displacement. So this is the change in displacement in given time. Let's say 3 seconds, so 3 seconds. Let's look at the example of the graph of the position time, some numerical which will help us to understand this better. So let us say I have been given one position time graph. Time, let's say I have been given in minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say body is at some position 3, right? And in 1 minute it comes to its new position 6. this is just question we are discussing for the position time graph. From the position time graph we can calculate distance and velocity. So distance, displacement and velocity. Final position minus initial position, velocity is displacement upon time. There is also another way to calculate this. To understand that, let us see this question. So question says that a body is moving from the position 3 to the position 6 in 1 minute. Then it remains there for the next 2 minutes. And then after next 2 minutes, it comes back to the position 0. Now from this graph, if we label it A, B, C, D, from this graph, again we can calculate displacement. Also we can calculate velocity. Where displacement? Displacement, this is a position time graph, right? So you must remember that in a position time graph, if the line is horizontal, in position time graph, if the line is horizontal, that means body is at rest, it is not moving. So this horizontal lines in a position time graph denotes rest, body is not moving. Hence, within part AB, body is moving, and if the body is moving, there can be displacement between A and B, and between the part CD, again the body is moving. So obviously there will be displacement from C to D. Let us see what is the displacement between A and B. The formula to calculate displacement is final position minus initial position. So final position is B, its value is 6, and initial position is 3. So final minus initial, so 3 meters is the displacement. Let's say displacement is, position is given in terms of meters. Similarly for C to D, final position is 0, right? Final position is C to D. So D is the final position is 0 minus initial position. So initial position was 6, so minus 6. So here the displacement is minus 6 meter. Notice the plus and minus sign. We'll discuss why here it is negative, here it is plus, but this is how we calculated the displacement, final minus initial. Again we can also calculate velocity. Since there is displacement, there must be a velocity. So velocity will be velocity, there will be some velocity between AB, and obviously CD is another part which is in the motion, so there must be velocity for CD also. So velocity for the AB will be displacement upon time. So displacement is 3 meters upon time. Time is 1 minute. So 3 meter per minute is the velocity of the AB. Similarly, velocity in the CD will be displacement is this part, and the time, which is this part. So velocity between the CD will be displacement changes from 6 it is coming to 0. So minus 6 meters, and time it is taking 3 to 4, yani 1 minute. So 1 minute. So minus 6 meter per minute. You can change the units as required. So from these calculations, this is the calculation, this concept we applied into this numerical. So from this we obtain certain conclusions. The first conclusion regarding position time graph, or it can be XT, X stands for change in position, XT graph. The first thing is horizontal line represents rest. This will be helpful to you in numericals. Second thing, you see the calculated velocity. Velocity is calculated as calculation of the slope of graph, that is tan theta, which is perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular will always give you change in displacement, and base will always give you change in time. Triangle, it means change. Please see this most important conclusion. In a position time graph, velocity is obtained by slope of the graph. Slope of the graph means tan theta. Tan theta means this angle formed here, this theta. Here the angle formed, tangent of that theta will give you the velocity. How do we calculate the tangent? Tangent is calculated by perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular is this part, which will give you change in position, 6 minus 3. Final position minus initial position. This is final position minus initial position, the perpendicular. And base part will give you, let's say this is time t3 and this is time t0. So this part will give you final minus initial time. So perpendicular upon base, perpendicular is displacement, that is 3, and base is 1. So 3 upon 1. Here we got the velocity, and that is the conclusion. I hope it's clear. So from the study of position time graph, we can obtain these two conclusions. Horizontal line represents rest and velocity means slope of the graph. How to calculate slope? That is this part. You must understand this. If you have not, please rewind the video and see. Let's move on to the next part. So continuing with the position time graph, let's take one more question. This is also a position time graph. Position in kilometers is given and time is given in hours, 2, 4. This is 8 hours, 12 hours and 20 hours. Since we know this is position time graph, as per the concept we can calculate two things, displacement and velocity. For every part we can calculate the displacement, and for every such part we will also calculate the velocity. By doing so, we'll understand position time graph and one-dimensional motion in much more detail. Let's see. So between A to B, what is the displacement? So that is final position minus initial position. Final position is 100, initial position is 0. So 100 minus 0 is 100 meters, 100 kilometers. This is the displacement from A to B. From B to C, final position is 100, initial position is also 100. So displacement between DC is 0. That is what I said in the conclusion of the position time graph, that if there is a horizontal line, that means displacement is 0. CD, right? So again, final position is 0, initial position is 100. So when the graph is negative, this is positive and this is negative graph. When the graph is negative, negative means more than 90 degrees. It falls into the 90 and 180, between 90 and 180, right? Then it is a negative slope. So when the graph has such negative slope, displacement will be negative. Final position is 0 minus initial position is 100. So minus 100 kilometers. DE, again final position is minus 50, initial position is 0. So that will be minus 50 kilometers. And SEF, so final position is 0, initial position is minus 50. This is negative directions, so minus 50. So 0 minus minus 50 is 50 kilometers. So this is again a positive slope. See, positive values. For this also we got the negative values, and for this also we got the negative values. So for negative slope you will have negative values, positive slope will give you positive values. Next, let us try to find out the velocity. Velocity can be calculated by slope, and slope is nothing but tan theta. How to calculate tan theta? Perpendicular upon base. Let us understand what does this complete expression mean. Now to calculate velocity, we have to calculate the slope. To calculate slope, we have two ways. Either theta must be given or perpendicular and base must be given. Here theta is not given, nowhere theta is given. Hence, this we can't use. Sometimes in some typical problems, it is needed to use this, or otherwise we use perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular will be this part, perpendicular part. This perpendicular part gives me change in position, so 100 minus 0, 100, right? And the time is 2 hours. So 50 kilometers per hour is the speed, velocity between A to B. Similarly, BC is horizontal line. Horizontal line means position change is 0, position change is 0. That means obviously velocity also 0. CD is a negative slope, displacement is negative, so obviously velocity will also be negative. So let's see velocity. Velocity is displacement in the CD, right? How did we calculate displacement in the CD? Perpendicular, right? So perpendicular is minus 100, and the time is 4 to 8, that means 4 hours. 8 minus 4, final time minus initial time. So this will give me minus 25 kilometers per hour. Similarly for DE, if I calculate DE, this point and this point, so again perpendicular will be final position minus initial position. So 0 minus minus 15. That is already I have done here. DE. So DE is minus 15. Okay, let me check here. DE. Perpendicular is final position minus initial position. So that is 50. Final is minus 50. Final position is initial position. So this height and time 8 to 12. So 12 minus 8, 4 hours. So this one will give you 12.5 kilometers per hour. See, CD negative slope, negative velocity, DE negative slope, negative velocity. Then EF positive slope, positive will be the displacement 50 kilometers and the time is 8. So that will 6.25 kilometers per hour. Please see. You must repeat this once again to understand it better. Now total displacement is final position is F minus initial position was A. So both are same. Started at this 0 position, again back at this position. So displacement is 0. Even if you add the displacement in the part AB, BC, CD, DE, EF, again you will get 0. Let's see this. 100 plus 0 minus 100 minus 50 plus 50. See, these two gets cancelled 0. These two gets cancelled 0. Average velocity. Now this formula is total displacement upon total time. So total displacement, this journey has been done in parts. It's a 20 hours journey, so it is done in parts. So we can calculate average velocity. So total displacement is 0. So obviously again average velocity is also 0. Average speed is also similar to the average velocity because this is one-dimensional motion. In one-dimensional motion, such type of the straight lines, for such straight lines, distance and displacement are same. For such straight lines in 1D motion, distance and displacement are same.